Hi there, my name is Calipos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Tap. People, Tap is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana. If you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Tap on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Tap.
Tap Send. Send more, spend less.
My name is Fernanda Samoa, Director and CEO of Second Generation IT Group. Guess what? We are currently in Ghana and we're going to offer the best courses that will allow you to work anywhere in the world. The courses that we're going to offer, we're talking about cloud computing, we're talking about introduction to computers, networking, network security, cyber security.
We have a conducive learning environment and our programs are interactive where the students get to ask questions and they get answers that's going to help them, and we equip them with the right knowledge.
Classes are offered Monday through Friday. It depends on which day you want to come. We have morning shift, we have afternoon schedule, we have evening schedule, and also on the weekends. To register, go to www.secondgenit.com and register.
She has a plan, a secret mission filled by gratitude and affection. She chooses her mother's favorite breakfast, Delight Foods, House Sakoko, a harmonious blend of flavors crafted with care and devotion. The taste of tradition and comfort. In that moment, their connection deepens, a bond strengthened by a shared experience. Delight Foods, House Sakoko, a delicious breakfast made with care and love in just 2 minutes.
Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job? Then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.
Smartphone app ni eya ho mambo ne hweso pankwa na edimu obusua. Smartphone app ebehwese hu nipa biara ohia yarehwe no yebeko won ho ebise won apom yede won bekwa yaresabia ne yahwese won ho atom ansa na yefiri won nchen enu ntitina adwumum ana atina kontrom na yensum wo enu ane se obefa wo phone na Google Play Store ana se App Store e wo iOS so na o download the smartphone app isia pa ni ajoso.
Wow, Smartphone, fast and reliable.
Smartphone app, sending love home.
All right, it was for Mama Kwa about SBTV Africa. So thank God it's Friday. Time now about 5:44. I started a program at 5:30. But I'm 5:44. If I'm DJ Nyame, so sir, I find when you boy channel also they are making sure so tap on subscribe now. like a live or a YouTube channel SVTV Africa, the voice of the community. So also a live or Facebook page SVTV Africa. Now Fridays be on him Wiseman solicitors, a lawyer wisdom akaho, or being for a champion pa inti Fridays be a meneba, and I'm making sure so be subscribe to SVTV International. A new channel English and your bro 20 Fridays be and next in a year more motaful and now we new and then I SVTV Africa YouTube channel no next week Friday in the SVTV International and you become brofu inti obe joining and there were questions pia obe so bisana o share live making sure so be drop o questions in tem send a beya obe yi ano amount your boss 7 per ya pon sharing so nti say o questions bia obe so bisana bisano share link no share your YouTube share link no mo be webo na topic e de be ne ohia pa send be ya utie utatie ne pa dia mistake pa dia nya dia obe utatie ne pa mistake pa dia nya dia obe nti be di UK nkomo enne bibia about UK ube bisano other countries are onim wa bia ma but eba no UK dia bibia concerning UK bia no bisana obi ya na ma obi na bibi chire wadwen so na se bibi sa person information bia na we bisa na question time for owe ni bra no yi wa no nti yenko straight se na misika yesre mo on tap on subscribe no so mon share na mo invite mo friends on be join here se na be ya nyina na ye boa isua de o share o Facebook so make sure so be share and cost to be just share call page so obi so be share no a share no obi so a share no a share sa na eboa nkofo nti make sure so be share mami go straight na me lawyer wisdom akawo from Wiseman solicitors embrana ye meeting komo lawyer where's all
yo phone ma
me phone ya phone
nya me phone DJ nya me
lawyer wisdom akaho champion man
DJ
lawyer and so what's up babium na and also then the share visa refusal and they be ngro for no refuse nkofo
so from had ye show be a chief na ye show be a so when him say from had yeah na because their first one of their policies is to reduce or limit nipa betimi atena from ha and the kwandi supposed to be limited the number of immigrants here so and so what the application be from our na one she show name here first one touch just a one would you home I show almost as a refuse and the refusers in there they be refuse application.
Yes, you ever start to bounce your mobile, ever bounce your mom.
Oh, move to me.
You ever start to bounce your mom. Documents, yes, you ever bounce your mom.
Who bounce movie and almost once I for part to say, your mom was a guy crying. Once I'm on this.
Oh, it's Asemo, yes, you ever start to bounce your mom. Anyway, like over straight to the topic, I'll say, treaty and then no. Eba no refusal ni ade ndie den ya na menim se ebi mu di refusal no refusal ndo be the man for pa nti enhwe updates then na by we are now obeko visa refusal no so first
na then I'm say updates we come mama last week but my sample so briefly me we eno na ma share about me promise say some kasa about human trafficking and okay. On it briefly just very briefly, then Nama call a refusals. So say a refusal visa, a ding and a Uber to me. So person Kofia, that is up to you. But so 1% over back to your country, and you're ding as I said we. And see, Mako,
lawyer me bo. Uber can me no and Uber can bako.
Uber can me no.
UK refusal or UK and I Ghana.
Yeah, refusal or UK. How would you have it? Why application a refusal? Again, over here. Uber Sanko Kotoka, now Uber na has Uber Sanko Kotoka, and it's up to you. Uber na has a crime benson over for a diatna, no near.
Naka Ghana, Diana, so Miss Mingrove, you so I why, yeah, and Yamba Hoye. I'm a refusal, and so
Yes, Mate.
Don't me hear him. And so yeah, me guy be crack at him say ba onya UK army ni bi na say so kwaje visitors visa.
Yes.
O man fama no. Nti me catch and say on send ene on hwe no on send the questions mra.
Yes.
Na de wo mbia na yi ano no so on ti ase onkofo
Oh,
no
my
on ti o man say o mama.
last week, me yeah, my lady B, omo man, omo di man. And also,
Ah.
visit this UK when you or went through she went through the first stage and I over for
Mm,
assessment. Or the brain,
mm.
or see, or yeah, no kwani, or yeah, so jenny, or see over to me, yeah, and any uncle say, don't go and mess up until the buy it. She said, the man last week, come the man. So it all
Oh.
depends on the way you handle the whole situation.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, one of
You
the topics that me can want some maybe the coming weeks about the military, no, how with me apply for the military, no, about come here. And yeah, one
and
of the key topics I think I'll talk about.
any there be boa pa because when him say most of the youth know ebi mo person mo join I mean military ni ade but yes
Yeah,
say it me school no omo timi nya invitation ni ade but ya nom say when your invitation crowd there and then just when your visa
David, and the answer when
ya
you're
nom no wo de call mo ho a omo be kire say wo be kwa na say wo invitation ni de obetimi anya o say
yeah.
bra assessment ni den but ya nom omo move pick on omo say omo kire say chale yeah ma o usu ni hwe ye enti lawyer what about the enco straightforward na
Yo,
tackle ne yen sha say ya
thank you. Yo, with us, it's here for Yamamo. Good evening, Ebio. Until last week, me did some kind, but my sense is subium. Changes be abba. In fact, but could be at the key effect already. I know yet the um, immigration health surcharge. Home Office Eddie Abba. So say from the 6th of February, and I increase the health surcharge from 1,560 almost across 2,587 pounds 50p. And it's a one kwan away application. Over to your home office fee that is from outside and I here. Over to your home office fee of 1,500 and over to your home office fee 2,875 pounds and a 50p. And then nipa baako. Nti sɛ moyɛ mmienu mmiɛnsa ɛnan a you have to multiply that amount by the number of people that are applying. Nti ɛyɛ wo ɛne wo ba ɛne wo yere a ɛne wo mma mmienu a so you have to multiply by 3 times 3 people ɛno pɛ ɛyɛ the IHS no efi hɔ a ansa na waba the application fee n'ankasa ankasa so ɛno nso as we speak it's also around £1,900 1,900 plus almost £2,000 ɛno ɛne the application fee nti ansa na nipa baako ɛbɛba kurom ha no wonam over, well over, getting to 4,500 and or almost £5,000 on Sana Wetime Edu Ekum Eha. So that is the fee increment with regards to the IHS. It's gone up from the 6th of February 2024. And so all your application now, please bear in mind, so this KB to thinking set you are going to go to only pay the old fee, it has changed. You now have to pay the new IHS fee. And here one. Number two, Mijidisa Mikayemon, but Nasan Bosubium. From the 11th of March 2024, 11th of March, Yabel Remano 2024, carers and senior care workers among to me and family members and my youth behavior. And we are carer woyɛ senior work carer na wopɛ sɛ wode wo yere anaa wo kunu ɛba kurom ha wowɔ from now up to the 10th of March 2024 from ɛnnɛ a yɛka sɛ up to the 10th of March a wobɛyɛ saa application no sɛ wonya de saa application no to mu a ɛneɛ woanya yɛ application nti ɔmo ntumi ɛnka sɛ ɔmo ntumi mma but sɛ woyɛ no from the 11th a unfortunately ɔmo ntumi mma because that is the day the changes are taking place. And to say, what percent would you read? Wo ma, eba UK ha. Please make sure you do that before the 11th of March 2024. So So that is that carers and senior carers cannot bring their dependents to the UK. And that not obi a friend of the same said, a carers nkwana tier 2 for na omoya affected and my response was that carpenters, masons, construction workers, omono, omankafe amfa omoho, IT workers, engineering, hospitality industry, omanka bibia about them. Near omo air carrier carers and senior carers. Ɔmo na ɔmo ntumi ɛmfa ɔmo mma ɛma. Ɛnti sɛ woyɛ construction worker na sɛ wowɔ kurom ha na wo company na ɛde wo baeɛ ɛyɛ license sponsor, wo no still no wobɛtumi de wo yere anaa wo kunu ɛde aba ha ɛna wo mma nso wobɛtumi de ɔmo aba kurom ha. Only that ɔmo a moyɛ carers and senior carers, they cannot bring their family members to the UK. That is for your information. The other one here said from the 4th of April 2024, the care workers, our salary range is going to change from what it is now up to £38,700. That is carers, that is the healthcare workers. Our salary is going to increase to £38,700. In other words, employer as a sort of amount of money, which is the £38,700. And sana will know what and that is that. And also the employer must be able to, or the employer must be registered with the Care Quality Commission. Care Quality Commission. The employer must be registered with the Commission. Yeah. The employer must be registered with the Care Quality Commission. And sana number new people abba. So bear that in mind. From the 4th of April, 2024, the companies must be registered with the Care Quality Commission. And sana umbetimidi will be a fee outside Eddie Abba. And besides that, on to me fa weary and our dependents no Emma UK. And the next one here, family visas. From the 11th of April 2024, sir, who percent would you wabusiani be bar? A warrior, now person you must be earning an outnova, you must be earning the 29,000 pounds. It's going to go to 38,700, but for now, I'm going to start it from 29,000 pounds from the 11th of April 2024. So let's bear that in mind. And also the Home Office, Eddie, new system be Eddie Abba for Omo outside the UK. Example, so be Ghana. Na Abia or a victim of domestic violence because of transgender, this same-sex thing, or a victim of domestic violence. TNEO, victim of domestic violence as a person who is a transgender or a person who is the same-sex couple, etc., etc. Ombudsman application to come to the UK straight away with indefinite leave to enter. Indefinite leave to enter. But of course, you realize that our country does not accept or recognize same-sex marriages. And this is not something that will benefit Ghana, but countries where those same-sex marriages are allowed, and you are a victim of domestic abuse, and you can prove it with police report, with medical reports, and of course with letters from the authorities. Sanipano, your application to come to the UK as a victim of domestic abuse from those countries, and you come to the UK. And also, very soon, the Home Office, another information is very soon the Home Office ever started I email and I church for amount for said everybody should set up an online account. Everyone should set up an online account. Why? Because from the 31st of December 2024, all biometric cards will not have any date anymore. In other words, I want the Obia sits na Obia card, card na from biometric card now. ɔmo de obiara deɛ ɛyɛ 31st of December 2024. And from 31st of December 2024, obiara ɛnya card biom. We application po na yɛde ma wo a, you will not be issued any card. You will not be issued any paper to show say wei ne w'asetena a wokura per se. Yɛmbɛma wo letter no a wɔde ma wo no, ɛno kyerɛ sɛ yɛde asetena no ɛde ama wo, and you have the right to be in the UK up to maybe 2026, 2027, or 2028, or any time after that. But they will not give you any card. Actually say asetena, and they will also not give you anything in your passport. Mpa hwee ɛnsi wo passport mu a ɛkyerɛ sɛ w'asetena nie. So apart from the letter now, Home Office for bɛkyerɛw sɛ yɛde asetena no ama wo up to this date no, wonni biribi foforɔ biara a wode bɛkyerɛ sɛ wowɔ asetena. The only way a wobɛtumi de akyerɛ ne sɛ, if you register with the Home Office and you have an online account, wobɛtumi akɔ hɔ to check w'asetena. Ɛna a yɛka sɛ wokɔ online a, wowɔ card ne bi a, kɔ online and go to prove your right to work. Now select prove right to work with share code. If you select the share code, more evidence, more the next drop say you have to continue to start. If you click start, one who said, do you have a visa? Also known as, do you have a visa? You say yes. You click that one, and then they'll ask you the next question. Is it also known as a visa or leave to remain? You take yes, and then you enter your date of birth and your card reference number near the right hand side corner of your card. Now you've entered that. Who enter and look at it will pull out the fact that who are sitting in this country up to 2027, 2028 or beyond. That is what it will prove to you. And no, and a tresa who are sitting equipment. So very soon the Home Office will start informing, I believe, all of us to open or to have an online account where you can check your leave to remain in the UK. Employers are now asking for maybe a friend share code. Without the share code, employers will not employ you now because no employer wants to pay £20,000 for employing Obia Onia Sitna Ewo Ekromaha. And even more fines for employing Obia Onia Sitna Ewo Kroma. And see, Akakakra, Home Office will start writing or informing us to all open an online account and then you can check for Sitna Ewo Eko. Now, Obiba Bisami says, "So card ne wa na utu kwa obeye den ako." Megidi nso sɛ ɛnkyɛ biara sɛ ɔmo ankasa wohwɛ letter na ɔmo de ka the card ne ho a ɔmo say your leave is going to be electronic e-visa, electronic visa, so you can check it online. In the same way, megidi sɛ ɛnkyɛ biara sɛ wobɛtu kwan a na wopɛ sɛ wotɔ wo ticket a, all you have to do is to generate a share code and you use that share code as proof that you are able to travel out and come back in. Right now, you can generate a share code to rent a property. You can generate a share code for employer. Ntimejidisa is going to be populated across board where you have to generate a share code, possibly to even open a bank account, or possibly generate a share code to apply for driver license, or even generate a share code to travel. And see, everything is changing. Everything is changing. Very soon, nobody is going to be holding a paper document, but everything is going to be online, it's going to be digital, and that is how Wetnia just said, who are sitting now, Wetnia to Kwai Ako, or sign to Kwai Abba. But people be saying that a Chrome had yet, and we are up to date. Like Ghana and other countries, and so on by a dang, I check here, who are sitting now, it can be checked. Once the system is up and running, it will go everywhere. And to do airport hop, Ukra card now. Na card no so actually 31st of December 2024. Meanwhile, you were 2025 more. Those who are checking you in at the desk at Kotokano, who say Accra International Airport, who say yes, one who will card and see go into the system to enter your details, your date of birth, and your card reference number. You are able to travel. Or even possibly, you may be asked to generate some code before you even get to the airport. It's American. Everything is changing. So we also have to change with it. Otherwise, you will be obsolete. In other words, you'll be very, very stranded. And see, let's all catch up with this as we progress. So that is in the form of updates for all of us to see. Now, we promise you some Kasabibi about human trafficking. Human trafficking. I promise to say something briefly about that. So I will just touch on it briefly, and then. But let's bear in mind, says we are a victim of domestic abuse, a victim of modern slavery, a victim who has been trafficked into the UK. Based on that. So if you have been trafficked into this country, you are able to get your leave to remain as a victim of human trafficking. It is possible, and a victim of modern slavery, and also a war. But let me quickly go through this. So, again, let's see human trafficking, and what is it? Human trafficking, all it means is that it involves recruitment or movement of people for exploitation by the use of threat, force, fraud, or abuse of vulnerability. In other words, you see human trafficking, it means that it is moving and are recruiting people. Almost sheda, almost setting up a recruitment agency. Now, almost the thankful for be a man. Say, Ukwa Koyejuma or Obi Fie, Ukwa Koyejuma or Papa Bifie, or Boss Bifie, or Obo Bifie. Now, almost the so very nicely. Meanwhile, it is a trafficking gang. In other words, I'm a recruit too. Would you, I'm culture of a beautifully said, I'm part of a yejuma. Meanwhile, and yes, so it is involves recruitment of people. And these organizations are legitimately set up. Almost Sheda are setting up good businesses. It looks like a good business, and they are recruiting who normal advertisers in a household. Now, Unswaya application. So it involves recruitment or movement. Recruitment and now movement of people for exploitation. So the main purpose of Omo recruiting say you are going to be exploited. Omo be use for exploitation by the use of threat. Sometimes they will use threat. We have a do hey we are and on ya could do corona on person Korea. They will threaten you. So 1 year. So 1 year where you will come back to your country. Or they can threaten you with all kinds of things that you would be forced to succumb, or you'll be forced to kowtow, you'll be forced to bow to what they are saying. So they use threat, they use force, they use fraud, or they abuse you. And sometimes, so when you have a do example, UK have no more you passport nepi won some. When you have a do also, many madam na ever, when you have a do airport once when you fat barrier no more as if our passport mommy now uno the passport will be retained by them. So that is idea of human trafficking. That is the recruitment, about me a very legitimate, almost setting up good business into whom set you are coming to work. They are recruiting you for another purpose altogether. So it is recruitment or movement. They move you from one country to another with the sole purpose of exploitation by the use of threat, force, fraud, or the abuse of vulnerability. And not any idea you're friend the human trafficking. But that is just what it involves. Now remember, so trafficking is a crime. Human trafficking is a crime, and it moves from one border to another, in other words, from one country to another country. So it involves movement of people across borders, and of course, it is with the main objective of exploitation. So keep that in mind. It often occurs across borders. Multiple people, multiple of geographic legal boundaries. In Tibet, now moving from one country to another country to another country, it's all trafficking. Now, who is usually trafficked or who are usually trafficked? The men. Men are sometimes trafficked, but mostly a man and a trafficked one. A man, normally they use deception to woo them to come to this country. You better catch to say the American who with in the rich man's household, and now you're going to work in a very good company. Meanwhile, when you do you a pet, then the story changes. You become a subject of control, subject of exploitation. So women, men, and children are also usually exploited. And that is what happens. That is what happens. So, number recruit two way, number do here, then you'll be exploited. Now, which sectors of the economy normally do they traffic people into? Now, they traffic people into different sectors. Example, agriculture. Nti ɛfisɛ sɛ oh wo ba bɛpeki fruits mo ba bɛyɛ adwuma wɔ aburokyire nti mo ba bɛpeki apple mo ba bɛpeki xyz tomatoes and stuff like that nti wo deɛ na w'ani agye sɛ oh wo ba bɛyɛ adwuma in the agriculture sector na wonim sɛ wo ba aburokyire aba bɛyɛ pound sterling. It is the sector in which they normally recruit people into agriculture. Agriculture is one. Number two, food processing. I said, oh, who buy a cannery shop? Just say, maybe I uti tomatoes you call factory there. They process the tomatoes to do the canning. That is also another sector they normally recruit people into. So it is agriculture, food processing. Food processing can be meat processing. It can be different sectors. It can be drink processing, etc., etc. Not story natural. The dead then it becomes a different matter altogether, and that is what it is. So agriculture, food processing, manufacturing. Manufacturing is where say, oh, mobile, you are going to work in a dress making factory or in a factory of fashion design. Now you're coming to work in a factory where they sew dresses and there's a lot of money to be made. So this is also another sector, that is manufacturing center, where they actually coerce people into that sector. Now would you want them say you they control you into these sectors, and then you will become a slave more or less for these people. The other sector, a big area here, domestic servitude. Domestic servitude. Domestic servitude nature say, one, you are in the UK and also you are supposed to be working in a domestic household. You are working in Obia, where you opening be efie, and now Obia, where you osikani be efie, and now Obia or ma our person brabeshe ne mano emano. Now, and also a domestic servitude. What ba so baba yejuma ewo efie. Meanwhile, uba no, well, you've been trafficked to become more like a slave. Ewo obi efie. Sometimes mpono ya maumu mpie untimi empie because upia almost rosa upia ubaka ko report and now we dane akonti uma mpie phone krantu telephone pono wunibi until you are just confined. That will be ne woni wo madam na apie and now woni wo boss na apie woni no pia samu kwa ko shopping na mo wie pe na wona na sa abekedi until wo de woni bibia. There are lots of people in this country, in the UK, we understand, who are victims of trafficking and who are also victims of who are modern slaves in domestic households. Omoni asitna, obiansu, enimse omo ehompo. They are victims of modern slavery in the UK hampo. That is there. Then also, apart from domestic servitude and domestic slaves, so I mean, kind of a domestic servitude, you are coming to serve in somebody's household. Of course, forced begging. They also recruit people to come to become beggars. You are begging into begging on the streets, and you have masters. They are monitoring you. Then you have to pass it to them. That is not very common in this country, to be honest with you. It's not very common, especially for Ghanaians. That is not a sector that is very, very common for Ghanaians. But when it comes to food processing, agriculture, manufacturing, and domestic servitude, that is an area that you could see people have been exploited a lot. And then the other big area, sexual exploitation. Yeah, recruit you, would you want say, oh, baba yejuma, anya sika ediako. Then they push you into the sexual trade. You become my main kind of say you become a prostitute, you become a sex worker. Now you have pimps, who are the bosses, who call money, then they take the money from you. Those are the pimps. So sexual exploitation. Last week, not DJ Nyami Kase, Ebinomo, Eyirinomo are going through a lot of problems because of Krata Semonti So yes, this is also an area of sexual exploitation where people are exploited. They've been recruited to come to the UK, maybe to work in an agriculture sector, or say with food, another factory, another food processing, factory, be an agriculture or something. Now you do see straight in the soup. Now sex work. Now udisikano edi amawon. So these are the kind of things that people who have been trafficked to the UK or to other countries go through. So be very, very, very careful when say obi ever say yeah recruitment so and so pound sterling. Be very, very careful. You will go to the houses, you go to some homes, you go to some places where a slave. They would have they will subject to sexual exploitation. You have no say because we need passport. There's nobody to go and report to. If you're you can't leave the house. You become a sexual slave, and they do whatever they want to do with you, and that is pretty unfortunate. Now, what is the trauma that people who have been trafficked, what trauma do they normally go through? People who have been trafficked and under the guise of but rather been trafficked, normally they suffer a lot of physical abuse. Physical abuse. Bosses, masters, mistress, madams, no, just anyhow. And that is very, very sad and very unfortunate. And apart from the physical abuse, they also experience a lot of mental health problems because dear we obi mami obi yiri ewo Ghana waba kroma so baba yejuma yaba subject you to exploitation in the sexual industry. When you say this is not your life, but because you have no say, you have no control, you are being exploited sexually, and it gives them mental health issues. So that is what it is, and some of this goes to, they suffer acute and long-term health problems, sexually transmitted diseases. This is what it is: HIV, AIDS, and all other kinds of sicknesses that they take from these problems. Because unfortunately, you've been subjected to this kind of exploitation, and it leads to all kinds of sexual health problems. Physical pain includes physical pain and illnesses and sexual health problems, and this may include mental health problems as well. So these are some of the problems that traffic they go through. Women trafficked for sexual exploitation and domestic servitude report high levels of sexual violence. Now, for sexual exploitation, they suffer a lot of sexual violence. They sometimes they tie them, they beat them, they abuse them, they assault them, and because they have no one to report to, unfortunately, they are made to succumb, or they are made to stay in that situation for as long as they are not able to leave their homes. So what you have to do is set you have such, or you are in such a situation, you have to look for a window of escape. You have to look for a window of escape. This our say, what times are the bosses not around? And if they are not around, what times am I able to escape out of this situation? Do you have somebody's number? Are you able to draw somebody's attention through the window or anything of the sort? If you stand in the window, can you draw people's attention for them to know what you are going through? You must be able to go through this process to escape. Now, when you escape, you have to notify the police and, of course, the GP, etc., etc. When you escape, don't think of going back to that home, because if you go back, your plight may be worse than before. So you have to be able to escape and report to the authorities, and then you can narrate your story. And you're possible so what you're sitting through that, you can get your stay, your leave to remain, through being a victim of trafficking or domestic slave, modern slave. What you're sitting through that. I believe not a lot of people may be going through this. That is my belief. We may have a lot of other nationals, but for Ghanaians, I don't really think there are a lot of people. But Yanipa Bakumpo and echo to this situation, I think they need to be saved. You can get your state in this country. What mean you are sitting now, if you're a victim of a domestic household, or you're a victim of you're a modern slave, or you have been trafficked, you are able to, of course, again, your application. When you are sitting now, but you need the evidence to show that you are so you can only report this after you have escaped, or you let the GP know, you let the police know, and let any other institutions that would be able to document Nyawukano. Now, Ukan, of course, talk to, obtain medical history, identity, and identify and report, refer individual to relevant services and specialists, health services, apply for trauma-informed approaches, and collaborate with agencies outside the health sector. Now, different institutions will come to your aid. A lot of institutions will have some of well, if you're a victim of modern slavery or if you have been trafficked. There are a lot of institutions that they want to help you. But when you come out first, the police, the GP, in fact, the police should be the first point of call. They will put records there, and the GP would also be able to, of course, document Nyawa go through. There are different institutions. The Black Sisters, UK, they will listen to you, they will put their records and reports down, and then you obtain medical history and sexual history from survivors or suspected victims of trafficking. If you can get all this evidence, and you wait to make an application based on the fact that you are a victim of modern slavery or a victim of trafficking. With that, wait to make application. Once you then you can have your peace of mind. So, DJ, when we talk about trafficking and modern slavery, these is what people go through, or these are what people go through. And of course, in Yamakano, they will be able to get their stay in this country if all the evidence we can use that to apply for them to stay in this country. Exploitation
Nice one.
costs every day. People deceive them
Uh,
to the UK and they are exploiting them sexually and in all different ways, unfortunately.
trafficking there, and you lawyer, and yet, Nanso, and yes, our trafficking, and enemy girls in the call Egypt no. What trafficking girls in the call Egypt? Ghana for agents to be. Almost Egypt, no more trafficking girls to the call Egypt. Bebe fie no mun kra one city kra.
Wow.
Ono nkra one city.
Some share videos, no, unfortunately. The thing people go through.
Charlie, yeah, traffic ko na say kutia $4,500, $5,000. Egypt used to the whole month 2 year juma usika unya cry $100. It will be juma for how many years?
For the rest of your life.
And as kind of so yeah so I know abeji. We mun ya kasa manfo ntie programs. I be obey alert. Into so be scam wa. You now you go know before no be ben on now what no.
Yeah.
But untie unim de ekọ ye the format very osa. Wo ho ai so usua enyama nketenkete bi phone so kura so usua link bi wa yen click enyama bi wa so hu bibi if you understand. Enye bibia na obetime hu ba sua bibi. Ana ya meka no babu wa obeka se we mu se obeka se onhwe. Anka ha ye wa na ka ye di aten gbegbegbe a ka 10,000 views at a go. Ope obi ni down for but they be boa na ompe. Anyway, lawyer, I go straight. As share code asem we be no akada.
Yes.
Inti idea ebe hu pa o.
Yes.
Say share ye kan you guys say last year we be raise idea way about share code idea ebe. According to sa Italy system ni bi untimi for be nyama nye adwuma no.
David.
And omo ni nyama no omo be kire omo.
DJ, it's idea ebubo ba no serious because to say you know, say employer, omo adwuma mu didampo no, employer, omo agi o card no, omo agi passport, and to say ekodu, omo the information to system no, automatically say ekodu e dia 2 months or not 3 months to time a visa ne be wo na eno akopia prompt say Kojo's visa is expiring on the 4th of next month. It's expiring on the 4th. And straight away, no, not employer, not pick here. No, afro. Yeah, idea it why your application. So why your application now? The proof of the submission. And see over my one, the Home Office reference number. Now, employer checking service at the home office. Now, and 1 year back say, ampa, uvesa no ebe wo 4th of March. Now, so why your application no and once I want your application no, ɛkyerɛ sɛ wobɛtumi atena kuro no mu ayɛ adwuma. You are protected by Section 3C of the Immigration Act of 1971. Wono, you are protected because woyɛ ansana wasitna no ewu. Now, sir, home office any amount of assurance now. They give them, I think, sometimes 6 months. So 6 months no echo dua. A better amount prompt be employer no. Na on assign actual home office. Or maybe so be say wasitlan abana usi debi and maya because the home office is taking about 9 months to 12 months to make a decision. Now employer now sign go back to the home office to check say they pay why any decision and almost debi yeah. Yes, somehow another 6 months. Compare time and your decision. And the employer is protected because the employer no Emma obi ejuma nipa no any assets na and home office for China they will fine him about £20,000. Now employer no how much is he making from you to be paying the home office £20,000 as a fine? Second time it goes up to higher than that. No employer wants to do that until the employers are on point now. That is that. And I won't swear, Ukra will come and yan no. Say, yeah, the more we are home office, but say, generate share code. Share code, online and all on your phone. So you generate code there, it's a mixture of letters and figures. ABR Y345 AB something. Now with your employer now. So employer they share the system no more. I bet you say ampa who are sitting now who kruma obetini ayejuma. Now, ebeyi wenimaba. Who dey share one ebeyi picture now. Ewa home office no. Eno ebeyi achre. Say who are sitting now about date now was sitting no ewu. And this we are yaw. Now udi mensa die akọ. Na employer dey shame. Na eyi kojo anaya enim ba say now say you are not you are not the person that I can see on the screen. A honor no problem aba. Now I'm saying me lawyer down for back or Birmingham or say similar situation obi Eddie Nadia Ekoye or Kopejuma and employer no check here no and oyoba or check here na enim fu from the player. Eti your friend no. Your friend is say, "On we check here no. Obi any man aba no enye ono a." Na o catch them so eye home. Obani catch employers because almost friend 1 or 2 people some will say bia nipa na o check na bia ono na eye mistake. Nti omo check so this is the same person. Nti na omo nyina wo computer na hwe so. Nti omo friend ma me no say omra down. Okoye so this is what he's showing. We are not sure because you've been working with us for some time. We're not sure. We want to be sure. And also, David, this is a wrong picture from somebody else. And you're not identity or coffee. I could fact the real picture, but okay, you know, DJ, well, maybe you because you know, and I'm the catcher so I'll find it the proper ID, no, and the passport, so they can compare. Or no, him say, and find it, okay, you know, one baby. So that is it. Akaka krano share code asemi want to me emfa obi so because it will show clearly say wo any sign pay and not any wo any sign pay. Akaka kra yeah it's going to be
no cry woman say countries ni na tight in our borders.
Yes.
Countries ni na normal tight on borders. And UK nkwa ohwa other countries nyina mo some nyama bi na kwa se bi hu be kire mo ne ade but basa be ha adwen anyway enti we be prepare ho so na lawyer kan o entwen kra menru ho start na boaboa ho so wo UK ho ana afi na wo UK ho a utie program we a uni measures a wo be puti ansana but lawyer so we wie dia na questions bi wo ha na
before we
call questions no so no
Me application ma obi recently. In fact, on Ubedu Chrome, I think exactly 1 year. Ena, or say or no. So 20 years now, man put na hands on when you are sitting or no, or a young man on me wasting the life, sir. It's exactly 1 year. Ena, oba yes say any application a man. Ena na or no, wa or oba and the banner a British citizen. And he nam so at the application man when you're sitting. Now, yeah, can say, why you want to say, Ubet na kremwa, and yet, when you bedu please, as I said, we should share legal advice. As I said, you seek legal advice. Said if you who are Manchester, who are Leeds, who are Wales, see a lawyer there, seek advice. Set my back, main court, and I'm a main court. Options bena me wo. Nti lawyer no ebe try all the options. Or try options ni we at least say no unim options are wo. Because one ko hu na e dia unim say options wo. Two ko hu na or say 1 2 3 4 5 6. May I normally give people about 7 options. Now my culture say options are mama way. Why we share? Where do you fall? And they'll tell you, oh lawyer, I think I fall in option 2 and 3. Or I fall in option 1 and 2. That's so fine. At least you know where you fall. And when you go out there, you know what you are looking for. You know what you are looking for. And that is what it is. But once seeking legal advisor, you have no idea, you have no clue what the options are. Obi Efi Milton Keynes, last Saturday, I think last Saturday, yes. In fact, because I cannot give you the options over the phone because sometimes some of the information are sensitive. Interesting, or buy it. It is good I came. It is good I came because me manu will be biasa nieda or say it is good I came. Okoye or framing to say thank you. And that is what it is. Some of the information, no lawyer would ever disclose some information which are sensitive over the phone. Another person, a framing, or no, obviously, maybe some 1-2 questions or your bar or framing. Me tie ne kasa no mpo menim sɛ wɔmfi yɛ kurom ofi one of the African countries hɔ ɛna ɔbisa me question sɛ waba kurom ha ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ aset na bisa ne 1 or 2 questions. How long have you been here? So and so. Are you in a relationship? Or say yes. Okay, yes, and I'll say, but it is not a genuine relationship. So I don't know they can't hold. And I'm catching and say, I am sorry, I am a lawyer. I can't do something that is illegal. I can't advise you on this issue. And I'm yes, I didn't think me advise you on this issue. I will not do that. When him said I wouldn't do that because I can't, the profession doesn't allow us to do things that are unlawful. And obi say otimenimu a uko hu lawyer na lawyer or the paper at 2 pence. Nia esa so di to no o di bibia atu ha mo. Nia anka want me anka won wo phone so no na wa ma bibia e clear o paper so. Ana won no na wo office nti na one bibia che. Enti options for hope. Options for hope. Options for hope. But sometimes a better say over who lawyer no na won na atnase. That will sort you out. Wherever you are, there are lawyers all over this country. Please speak to them to get yourself sorted. Don't wait until it is too late. Now, home office for you, police for you, you work with detention center. Ansana, one preset Ansana over PA. Sikana over say a PA detention plan or Sikana crowd also send yanka now with the application and cannot with the.
Yeah, move a last minute.
Well, sometimes lawyer never comes so now you do call, which is unfortunate. It's better.
Yeah, last minute.
Lastminute.com.
Hey, Ghana for him will be a train last minute. Onion, adequate preparing no any air cano.
Yes. Yes.
It's a word train unprepared till last minute. No, now if they pressure, but only lawyer be only way lawyer be at the last minute. So maybe also a lawyer and a baby one shiny last minute. lawyer no so ba try last me or be try the best so uti anye ya
Yeah,
na
maybe we'll call. Yeah. All right. So, DJ,
nti
I mean, with the different categories of what to do if your lead is refused, Yamfa questions, no say what time kakra, we'll look at that. Otherwise, we'll push that to the following week. So,
yeah me what question be one
Mhm.
na about me guy be a or see refuse see neighbor for the UK army invitation no
Okay.
ate wow
Yes. Yamfa.
I
So,
want me for them on phone so
okay, and
ọsẹ
for
ni
the
maame
moment.
ọsẹ ni maame ba mi ẹ wa nti
For the
because
moment.
me de to wei ni so a ebe wa
And
eti
for
for
the
mo
moment.
wɔ questions bi wɔ hɔ a mo wɔ questions bi wɔ a mo fa mbra me hu sɛ bi mo type wɔ ba maame ma lawyer nteki because yɛ kan about visa refusal wei ni nti maame ma no ɛno first na onyi ano yi ano wie a then I'll put your questions no there
Okay.
so lawyer my senior amount we bet me kind of phone so because me
All
say me
right.
the two comment section ebe tente dodo
Okay. Thank you.
so bet me I know say okay unko for you refuse ya omo format no order that me boy lawyer so say online so
Format
format
no.
na order that it no answer wa copy we paste
Yes. Now with the shame with date of birth, Hashem, that's
no
all.
the real shame it I know say the man senior amount you have one until there yeah.
I see, you've applied to visit the UK for 1 month, 2 days to attend the British Army Assessment Center with a view to recruitment. Acknowledges that you have submitted an invitation letter for this assessment. In assessing your eligibility for entry to the UK, I have considered your personal and financial circumstances as evidenced by your application form and supporting documents. I am assessing on the basis of your current circumstance. In support of your application, you have provided personal bank statement, letter from university, letter of invitation from the British Army, invitation letter from UK relative, resident permit, pay slips, bank statement, tenancy agreement, sponsorship letter, resident permit of sponsor, passport copy of sponsor, council tax and customers transactions invoices of sponsor. You state you're a student and you declare a monthly expenditure of 100,000 Ghana cedis. That is 64 pounds. Exchange rate at £1 is equal to 15.573 Rwanda on the 7th of February 2024. You state your trip to the UK will cost you 2,000 and will cost your sponsor 2,800 pounds. You state you are a student and you have provided a letter from Ghana Communication Technology University confirming that you are a student. No further information to demonstrate your regular attendance or your student status. I'm therefore not satisfied that you enrolled in a meaningful course of studies. I know that you provided personal statement from Fidelity Bank with account ending 5118. There are unexplained transactions going in through your account, including cash transactions. The origin of these funds is unknown. Therefore, I'm not satisfied that you have sufficiently demonstrated your financial circumstances or these funds will be available for the purpose of your trip. The documents you provided do not demonstrate you hold strong family, social, economic ties to your country or residence, which will satisfy me that you intend to leave the UK or complete on completion of your short visit. On the evidence before me and the balance of probability, I'm not satisfied that you have accurately presented your circumstances or intentions or wishing to enter the UK. Long one. Few things. One, or your student. And because we're students in the Omon this set or enough ties to the country are from Ghana Sayako. Because students ba omunko, if you are final year, omuba omunko, medical doctors krabi ba omunko, accountants ba omunko. So they don't believe so why we are students in Uba Sayako. So they said there is no evidence of strong ties to your country. Family, social, cultural ties are Sayako. And that is always what they look for when you are applying for a visit visa. That is what they look for. A dear lecturer said, Ubersign Ako. Say, when you're solid to say DJ Nyamia, Ubersign Aqua, then I will tell you, because DJ, the only is on Yana Juma, I'm at Nakum for anything. And see, you need to be solid and sana over to me. I yes application. Number two, I must say Sikana Osi Onyano, Omo the back pound sterling more is about 64 pounds a month. Meanwhile, in Ghana cities, there's about 1,000 Ghana, but UK pounds, it's about 64 pounds a month. And also extra. The next thing is, we'll say it will cost you about 2,000 pounds. It will cost you personally about 2,000 pounds. Meanwhile, you haven't shown where the 2,000 pounds is coming from. And your sponsor will provide 2,800. And also, they haven't raised issue about your sponsor's own, but one casa would get 2,000, I will see Udi Kahono, and I ever cost, where is the evidence? You haven't provided evidence. That is what they claim. And also, I must say, the money is going into the account, deposits in and out of the account, you haven't explained with your Sasikano if ever into the account. Like we have always said when it comes to visit visas, you have to provide and to prove the source of the funds into the account. You have to explain it. You haven't done that. And that is why the decision maker said, Onjin Nise Uba sign a call. That is why this application was refused. You can't appeal this decision. You cannot. And Tiniobe said, go back and reorganize. Now you have the points they have raised. Reorganize. If you can have a lot more money in your account and you have to explain the source of the money, explain the source of the funds. Take the bank statement, write on the bank statement, this is from so and so. This is a support from my uncle. This is from my auntie towards my maintenance as a student. You have to do all of that. And again, they raised an issue about school now. We see work on who the letter also but one probably about attendance. I think so, and so and on that basis, they don't believe that Uber sign ACO. Unfortunately, these letters have already been typed out, and almost you would need details now. They print it out for you. Go back, reorganize, let me use the word, go back and reorganize. For lack of a better word, just repackage your things and do it again. But there has to be a drastic change in your circumstances before you have any chance of succeeding in this particular case. DJ, unfortunately, that is what they are doing these days. I'm a dependent here and in the UK, GB, and I have been for 5 months. Can I apply for the army? Somebody told me, sir, or no, he tried to apply to the army. That is what somebody told me. I haven't checked. Or see, he tried to apply to the army and they told him he has to be in the UK for 3 years. I don't know. I haven't checked. So, yes, I would say please approach the recruitment, the army recruitment department online, email them or call them. And if you are a Commonwealth national, I am sure they will have their criteria for recruiting Commonwealth citizens. So please, I can't give you a yes or no answer to this because I haven't checked recently. Kindly contact them, the recruitment agency, on the correct information as to what to do. Everything is online, just a phone call away or an email away. They'll be able to support you with the necessary information. Charles Obing Apia, hello. If you apply for dependent visa on the 28th of February, will the new law affect them? If you apply for dependent visa on 28th of February 2028, the new law will not affect them because you have applied before the change will take place. The change is taking place in March. I think so. Yes, like I said, it's taking place in March. Carers on the 11th of March 2024. That is when the change will take place. So therefore, make sure you apply before that date. Otherwise, area. Yeah. Hello, Grace Abena Asamwa Amwa. Hello. Lawyer, please, can you bring your children up to 5 years as a carer? Oh, yes. Sister, sir, what's not Chrome have for 5 years as a carer? Now, when you will indefinite leave to remain, after 5 years, no, Yamiya Duma, when you will indefinite leave to remain. So, when you will indefinite leave to remain, and no, dear, over to my application, I'm a woman, not on my back. The Chroma under paragraph 297 of the immigration rules. Now we fit the health and care tier 2 skilled worker route. Now I call under the immigration rules. That is a person who has indefinitely to remain. You are settled wobɛtumi ayɛ application ama wo mma no wo mma no deɛ sɛ wonyanya wo indefinite na woyɛ application ma wɔn na you can prove the sole responsibility yɛbɛma wɔn indefinite leave to come straight away indefinite leave ma wo mma no na ɔmo aba ɛnyɛ 2.5 anaa 2 years anaa 2 years anaa 3 years ɛbɛyɛ indefinite leave straight away na ɔmo atumi aba abɛka wɔn ho ɛwɔ kurom ha. Hello, Pius Kofi Eshon. Hello, Mr. Eshon. I hope you're doing very good. If a new carers dependent filed for visa on the 10th of March, will it be considered? Yes, it will be considered. You are protected until the 10th. From the 11th, the new law kicks in. So once you submit and you pay the application fee on the 10th, you are protected. The transitional arrangement protects you. The transitional provision protects you that as long as you make your application before the date, the effective date for the new law, you are protected and you should be fine in bringing your partner to the, even if the decision is made after that date. If the decision is even made after the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 15th, the 20th, the 30th, you made the application before the law change until they should still be fine. Hello, Mr. George Buampong. If you're a victim of domestic abuse or violence, and what would happen to the doer? Is he going to be arrested or what? Well, it all depends. I have seen victims of domestic violence who actually reported to the doctor, to the GP, and the GP gave them very detailed and chronological evidence of what has happened. Remember, sir, domestic abuse is not always physical. Sir, abo anawa piao anawa di bibi abo. No, domestic abuse can span over a wide range. It involves psychological abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, and intimidating behavior. And si papa no, this is papa no when okay, obema na ebisa question. Oba no bet to me ayɛ nneɛma bi a ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔde biribi abɔ sɛ wafa hwee amɔwɔ a wontumi nkɔ policefoɔ hɔ sɛ meyere anaa ɔba no de biribi abɔ me arrested. No, ɔbɛtumi akasa emotional abuse, psychological abuse. So in that case, you need to see the GP. The GPs will have to document all that has gone through. Nobody can be arrested because you are going through a psychological abuse or a financial abuse. Police cannot come and arrest you and say, give your wife money or stop saying this to your wife. The police cannot insult you for cannot abuse you, cannot arrest you for that. And your physical, so then in some one that becomes assault, physical, and a police will be involved. But a mental, emotional, psychological, and financial, etc., then you have to inform your GP, the Black Sisters, and different organizations that, of course, can help you. And men manage your firm Respect. Respect is an organization that helps men who are victims of domestic abuse. And manage your friend Black Sisters. And men manage your firm Respect. So if you go online and you Google Respect for domestic abuse for men, you contact now, bro. You contact them and everything will be fine. You contact them, they'll write reports, they'll give you reports, you talk to your GP, you have a detailed report, not just one-off, but detailed chronological and series of reports of the emotional torture, the depression you are going through, the stress you are going through, the mental torture and all these things over the years, over the days. Then you have something to base your application on. Thank you. Thank you. If I'm an overseer, can I operate a bank account? Kojo, is it Kojo code? Hi. Kwajo code. Cody. Okay, I'm sure it's Cody. Right. Mamboni ya facha mi why. Yes, sir. One sir, you move a buy several years ago. Maybe I did buy 20 years ago, 15 years, 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, etc. Sir, what did me be an account at that time? Na sir, yam bisa obi biansa na yebi account ma na and then bank na bisa say pa obi bra. In that case, yes, you can continue operating your account. But and then I can say so when your account are very, very unlikely say the banks will open any new account for you because they want to see proof that you are in the UK legally. So they want to see your passport, they want to see your biometric card to prove say who are sitting at Chrome and sign a mobile account for you. But more account in the down there. Yes, if nobody is asking you for anything to prove any additional information, then of course you can continue to operate your account without any difficulties. I know there was a time ago they started writing to people who didn't have the right to be in the UK because the Home Office was sharing the data with the banks, and then the banks would then write to the people. So say no, I'm say akọ down kakra, and so oji bibisa usika wɔ na woni aset na misro oyi usika, and yes sir, amodi embargo betu usika so. Hello, Mr. Dazi. Is there any chance if you are coming for a sister's graduation in the UK? Oh, yes, of course. There is a chance. Sir, to me, Abba, I mean, because Obi ever graduated from university, usually a year now, the option said they can invite 1 or 2 people to attend a graduation ceremony. And to say, person and now when you be a person or back for sister and our sister graduation ceremony, of course, it is possible. But it goes back to the same point again that apart from the graduation invite letter, wo a woba no, ɛdeɛn na ɛkyerɛ sɛ woba a sign akɔ back to your country. Ɛhɔ no na ɛkyerɛ sɛ woyɛ adwuma bɛn na woyɛ, sɛn na wogye, how long you've been working there for, what is your position, what is your bank account, how much is in there, if you convert it into pound sterling, how much will it be, who is supporting you financially. You have to give a total and absolute rundown of all your finances. Are you married? You have family back in Ghana? You have some property? You have to add all of this to prove that you are able to come. And when you come, you will go back. So, yes, the invite is one thing. The additional documents to show that you will go back is the other thing you need to provide. Thelma, hi Thelma. Now, if you are applying for naturalization, can I travel whilst I'm waiting for a response? Absolutely. You can travel, Sister Thelma. You can travel anywhere around the world provided you are able to go there. Now, say, yeah, naturalization applications say, yɛmfa hard documents no ɛnkɔ, yɛmfa passport no ɛnkɔ. We scan everything and then we upload. We scan and upload. Unless we a paper application no, we print it form no, and I will complete it yeah. And no, we do passport, ebe and the other supporting documents, ebe no post yama. But so we are online you don't send your passport, you only scan all the passport, the relevant pages, and of course, all the other supporting documents. Then you upload it, it goes to the Home Office. You don't have to send your passport. Once you have your passport, over to Quine in and out. Set decision bar. Work up with your ceremony, no. With your ceremony in area, not with your British passport, naturalization certificate, what you apply for your British passport. So that is what it is. Can you bring your wife and children to the UK after you have obtained a settled status under the EU settlement scheme? 100%. You can bring your wife and children to the UK after you've obtained settled status. So when you settled status, remember, we are EU name, but we are a family member of an EU national. So saying when you settled status, sa application no, ubayama obano under Appendix FM section EC-P. That is for your wife. And you need to add all sorts of documents, marriage certificate, of course, pay slips, bank statement, tenancy agreement, P16, communication, photographs, and evidence to show there's a genuine relationship. You add on for the woman. For the children, you need to add their birth certificate, of course. If the children are your biological children, I believe the birth certificate is in date at the time of the birth. That's where you register them. Again, if the children are your stepchildren, you need evidence to show that the wife has sole responsibility over these children. And once that is done, you can then apply under Appendix FM section EC-P for your wife, and also for the children Appendix FM section EC-C for the children, and they will all come to join you here in the United Kingdom on the basis that you are a person who has in settled status in the UK. Hello, Paul. Paul Kwesi. Good evening, Roya. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm very well, thank you. I have a B1 life course and want to apply for UK. How am I going to do that? Well, Mr. Kwesi, yep, and we need to know which category of visa you want to apply in. Are you coming as a student? Are you coming as a health worker? Are you coming as an IT specialist? Are you coming under the Minister of Religion? Are you coming as a spouse? Are you coming as different categories? So the B1 alone is not enough to score you any points to come to the UK. It has to be based on some additional evidence before you can apply for that. So if you can give us a little more information as to the category of visa you want to apply in, I'll be more than happy to assist you in answering your concerns. Thank you so much. Ishak Alhaji, how does one prove sole parental responsibility now? It's become a grounds for refusal of dependence of single parents lately, in spite of the efforts from applicants such as school fees, hospital bills, living alone with. You are 100% right, my brother. You are 100%. In fact, if it was possible, in fact, if I was in Ghana, I would have given more than 100%. It is true. It is true. Now, I think Omar Yomagin said they are just refusing all children applications. M said they have Omar Yomagin said and they are just refusing all. So, and these are the ways you can provide and prove sole responsibility. School letter, not hospital letter, sometimes a sorry letter. And of course, Ajay just said you make all these decisions, school reports, etc., etc. To the extent that Obimpo Akwaji custody order, I court na money custody order, it just said Onumpo, Onumkwa Netrabopre, and Numpo, they based on it and refuse the application. So you don't really understand exactly what they want to see to believe that you are the person who has sole responsibility for these children. So, Sebibisa Eba, not they refuse the application, please go for admin review so that they can reconsider the fact that they haven't looked at the decision and looked at it well. It's just unfortunate. But I agree with you. We are facing the same problems. Clients are facing the problems. A lot of people are facing the same problem because the Home Office, the entry clearance, I believe, have just made up their mind to refuse children's application in the skilled worker category. You remember they said 120,000 dependents came. Dependents alone, 120,000. So I'm sure they made up their mind to reduce the number, so they're just refusing applications. If they refuse you, judicial review, please. Sorry, if they refuse the application, admin review, not judicial review, but admin review. Hello, Grace Amua. I have spent 1.5 years with a company, but I'm no longer working with that company. I have switched to a different company, so I want to ask, will my years continue from the 1.5 years, or I would have to start all over the 5 years? Usually, if it's in the same health and care sector, then you can add to it. If it's the same sector, so assuming you did 1.5 years with another skilled company, skilled worker company, and then you went on to do another 3.5, or you go on to do another 3.5 with another company, because it's in the same sector, it should count towards the 5 years for you. But if it is two different sectors, it could be an issue. It could be an issue. But I think yours is in the same sector, so you shouldn't have much of a problem. I need your number urgent because my agency has 0 hour and working with different agency for 20 hours. What should I do? Well, in a situation like this, you are not alone, Josephine. A lot of people have found themselves in this difficulty. So, in a case like this, what I would suggest is, if you can, please, if you can. Today, somebody came to me; they got a sponsor. If you can, seriously, intentionally look for another sponsor that will give you the full time to work. Get one, and then you can move on. Move on. Otherwise, a time will come you will not be able to move to be able to renew your visa. In 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years, a lot of people will be in the system. They can't renew their visas. They can't extend because they haven't worked with the employers for the period that is, as I said, any age. And to mesra was so over to me, share employer and move on. That will be my advice for you. Um, Hello, Mr. Atto. I'm in the UK with an invitation visa. Okay, what should I do to acquire my Nkrata if I want to stay? I'm here for only a month now, Mr. Atto. And yet, the details never to her. Freyang Nebra, Megidisa were London and Auburn London. Uba near Atnase, near Shese. Uba 1 month near Jana, Uber to me a year. Quite Ben sooner Uber to me apa options now. Wahono. Yabema one who not set a bayer. Wow, qua, washenia, a bayer good for you. No one faso. Na Uba Baka, you bet to me, Ashe, Senya, you bet to me a wow. No one you are sitting at a work. And say, details no dear minimum set online. Telephone mobile office number near 0208 0165 384 0208 0165 384 0208 0165 384 and our mobile number near 079 31411042 079 31411042. Ufrek mobile name to me on fire. You can send a message and you can follow it up with a call. But reliably, yeah, Fred, office number now. Ever fat, and then we can arrange for you set what back. Now yet me show. Come on, come on. Yeah, sure. A quina as I said, we'll pass it up with Yanya Ukrata, our Ekrumha. Yes, thank you. I came as a student and later brought my wife as a dependent. She was able to switch to a skilled visa, but the sponsor has no job. How now have now switched to her visa as a dependent, but still in school. Respectfully, can I go to Ghana or any other country and return without any immigration issues? Well, it's an issue in this case. If she is not working, if she is not working with the with the current sponsor, I would be very cautious about traveling out. So you have become her dependent. You are in, you are studying, but you are a dependent. My concern is traveling out is not a problem, but when you are coming back and they begin to question you, ask questions about your partner, where she's working, and maybe sometimes you get a caseworker who an immigration officer who wants to take things further. They want to speak to your wife or even speak to the sponsor or the employer, and one thing can lead to another to another. So my point is, if it is not life and death, if it is not that urgent, I would say if you can skip the travel for now until things get sorted. But if it is an urgency or it is very urgent that you have to travel, then of course you have to travel. But just bear in mind that when you get back to the airport, they can ask you a range of questions just to establish the fact that you are still a dependent and your sponsor, your wife, is still in employment in the UK. Thank you. I want to come to the UK as a dependent visa now. I this new will affect. Okay, due to my preparations or organization myself, I'm confused and don't know what to do. The next year, is there any help for me? Well, I think you were saying that you want to come to the UK as a dependent or on a dependent visa. I want to come to the UK on a dependent visa. Would the new rule, I'm sure, affect me due to the preparations organization of myself? It means you're gonna take time to prepare and organize yourself. Would the new rules affect you? Yes, from the 11th of next month, you can't come as a dependent. You can't. So if anything, you have to do that before the 11th of March. So you have up to the 10th of March. Kwame, I am a third country national with a pre-settlement status in the UK. Can I marry my non-UK EU partner with this status? Of course, you can marry. Marriage is your human right. Nobody can tell you not to marry. Article 8 of the Human Rights Act allows you to marry. It's your human right. That is different from your right to be in the UK. So if you marry, yes, your human right is fulfilled. If your non-UK partner is settled, you have no problem. If the non-UK partner has no settlement, then you cannot pass your status on to her. You have to wait until you get your indefinite leave before she can make any application based on you. But even in that case, there are other caveats. If their visa is expired, that makes it very difficult for them to switch to a partner, unless there is a child involved, which brings that application under Appendix FM Section LTRP with reference to EX1, and of course Article 8, Section 55, and all the necessary supporting laws. Or still under Appendix FM Section LTRP with reference to EX2, because of a medical or there are insurmountable obstacles why you cannot leave the UK, then you can make that application. But if your partner has leave to remain in the UK, you have no problems at all. So the question is, can you marry? The answer is yes, you can. Can your partner get a stay? It depends on several factors. Thank you. Richard Sego, I was not able to defend a transaction I made on online bank and was treated as fraud. Can that affect my application for my naturalization? Well, the question is, were you taken to court? Were you fined? Were you sentenced or anything? If you haven't been taken to court, if you have not been fined, that should not affect your naturalization application. If it is the bank that says it's a fraud and therefore they have withheld your money, or they've just given a letter that it's a fraud, etc., etc. In this country, unless the court convicts you or you have a fine or you fall within the category of fines, etc., etc., you cannot be deemed as a person who is cause a criminal. So you shouldn't have a problem if it was not you were not fined by the court. A student has been asked to leave by April. What are the options for her? If you've been asked to leave by April, you've been given a date to leave. Between now and then, you are still in the UK legally. Legally. Within that period, a lot of things can happen. You can switch health, IT, engineering, all these other departments, IT or tier 2, you can. Or as long as you're in the UK legally within that period, if you already have a child or you have a family life with a partner, those are options you can consider as long as you are here legally before your leave expires in April. So that is what I would say. But we can discuss this in much detail if we meet one on one. Thank you very much. Hey, DJ. I am on the skilled worker route. Please, is it possible for my dependent, who is my wife, to bring my stepchildren without my knowledge? Is she on the same? You say your dependent, who is my to bring my stepchildren? No, 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 no. Normally she would need your details to submit that application. Of course, your passport details, your COS, etc., etc. They will ask questions about where you are residing or where you'll be residing. So I would say usually you should be in the know. If, however, she has those details already and she can then make the application without asking for any additional information from you, then that could be possible. That is, if she already has all the information that she needs to complete the application. That could be possible. I use a BRP card to travel to Germany or Canada. Can I use a BRP card to travel to Germany or Canada? No, you need a passport and you need a visa. If you have a BRP card, it means you are not, you don't have, you are not a British citizen, It means you either have a limited leave or you have indefinite leave. You need a visa to go to those two countries. Thank you. Did you be somebody obi the question be Bremen earlier? I'm saying of prayer and I would demand cry some time ago. Was it why application but one who said or withdraw the application and to
Yeah.
officer said should they refund the second amount and yes. Once when you born son, so when you born son no pay, they will not refund the application fee to you. But the IHS, the health surcharge, no, because you have to be in the UK to use the health services. In that case, if you haven't come, they should refund the IHS or the amount you paid for the medical services to you. But application fee need here. Once about one pay, they will not refund the application fee to you. So yes, go online, request for refund of your IHS. I'm sure they will do that for you. Thank you.
Nice one, lawyer wisdom Macau, wise man solicitors. The time as soon, your time as soon, 7 but yan starting 5:30, no.
I don't know yet. No.
Ama kakra bia beka ho. Aha, by your time na so pepepe. Me hu say comment no so e buy no so far no wa ansa ni nyina. But abrante ba ko bi o wa say mame ma no warning. Bonyelo. Oh, in fact. So a new channel so Charles Obin Apia. Charles Mesrel. You had the first time I would my main cancer never on repeat it. Oh, question back, oh, they are to we repeat this question now about 20. Aden. What the question by ya to lawyer answer? Inti what's a repeat, no, copy and paste. Esa o block it other nkrofo mu chance because a better questions be unkwa question no ko paste wa ha. Yes, re. What the question it to wa? Eye den a lawyer no wa ha. Ye de beto mo answer. But don't be repeating the same question. No paste. Na ka no paste. So when tia video we and delete ye we a obetimi akọ back na wakọhwe ebia na wo tie e na bibi be bom na wo sorry enti the obey ne say we a live video na our YouTube channel na Facebook go back na hwe or answer our question no but nipa back wo be repeat questions I do so mesre wo o yes machine be twa obi be ka just say machine be twa block so abeg me bebre sa just one per year obey answer lawyer me da say more the questions ba late your time aso nyame adoma next week you know me ne be bio but me who say bi mu ka say na lawyer one ka say yeah mu say omo frɛ o mfa na ka bibi che
Almost office line. Office line. Monday to Friday, almost office line. Mr. Moa. Yeah, na the mobile no is my personal as well as my office line. Yeah, na pressure that so. Mr. Moa, Mumfre office line no. And no. Set me busy in poor. More books be. They'll put it in there for me. Wait prayer. At the end of the day, I'm that notebook and then I'll return your calls. My apologies. I know people have called, people have sent messages. I haven't been able to respond. So please bear with me. Please bear with me. We are serving a wide range. Please bear with me. Call again. Call the office line. I'm sure we'll respond to you. Thank you so much for your understanding.
So, wise man solicitors, I'm aware now show screen. We say be beside the contact number, or office number. Numbers in the good screens, so no. They be on the numbers no screen. So until you see a wise man solicitors. London. Me do an Macadoston market. Lawyer address no. Wangazaka address no my print house. The print house is soon print visa until the 8th year.
Yo, Wise Man Solicitors, number 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 The Print House, London E8 3DL. E8 3DL. It will close to the McDonald's, behind the McDonald's, and it will close to the Dalston Market. Close to the Dalston Market. Yeah, Nick Dalston Market, no, but yeah, close to the Dalston Market.
But I call Dalston Market here beside money matters, ma.
Exactly. Who beside body matters? Ajua and Omwa Ghana for Muhammad. Who beside when I said lawyer wisdom were here and a wise man were here. I'm bet you say, oh, what, yeah, Unique market no by bank market now. And Timofra, please just call the office number mostly Monday to Fridays from 9:30 to 6 p.m. Call and we're more than happy to assist you. Yadamwase. And we thank you for your patience. The problem sometimes we have is a bit fair, DJ. Now, who are clients are? You have to answer all their questions even when you have a client. Obi friend me last time, now or no, or when the computer chip, hey, you on application. Now our friend, oh yes, or catch them boldly say, lawyer, me your application, I mean your information. Or in the computer chip, hey, your application. Until here, or do question one, I know I have money answer. My money 1, 2, 3. Was I'm afraid, Papa. To be honest with you, sir.
So on so nim so biti wenim.
Exactly. Obi ti menu. Na menja ne woman na hide kakra nti. 1, 2 questions bi a. E dey why you form no. Who are here 1 or 2 information. I don't mind. I can give it to you. And yes, mo mo consider yen su kakra. But mostly from office na uba. Then we can look at everything and sort it out.
Lawyer, based on the application failing, no, is there a way be you bet me be found asking? I think you know why Anna.
Yes, a bit me your application, a bit me complete form no. Now they are sending it to review the application form for them. It is
Okay.
possible. But applications do on swap. Say what you want to a review form no. Dia bibi katikiti do wa miss it. Say a corner nko ye year. Obeka say na lawyer say wa na review ye. Na we sit me fanko na anye ye. Enti ni onu ye no. No blame. But you will miss it, not blame, not better. It is sometimes we prefer to start from the beginning to the end. Then we take full responsibility for whatever information we put there. And that is why sometimes we are a bit reluctant because of the technicality of some of the applications. But your form. Now here 1 question, another 2 questions for me to help you. That is fine. But not when you have started your application form, he wants me to come from beginning to the end. DJ, I know the am make I just sit on moment because it's a bit of work for me. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Lawyer Wisdom Akao, Wise Man Solicitors, I'm numbers the whole screen so no I born address no. Then I say onyambre every Friday to be at next week Friday nyame adoma yebe no SVTV International. And to make sure so be subscribe to SVTV International or YouTube channel. Make sure so be follow and also your channel but I know your brofo into first time and then the back and then a tree and a tree in the no one can be brofo no dosu.
Oh, me can't tree.
Iti na me adoma next week you know and here only say live and here brofo nko asa na be serve enye obia na otitwi no be serve so other Africans ni ade almost metibi enti subscribe to your new channel na SVTV International kwa videos wo pa interviews wo and here brofo nko other Africans bon Cameroon for Kenya experience and fantastic interviews with my technical English. I made a face make sure say interviews SVTV International a YouTube channel. What about SVTV International see our phone so SVTV YouTube SVTV International be pop up na subscribe na join your videos na share my own na join your YouTube so SVTV Africa. No. Madam as a lawyer, akpe nyame adom ebekasa next week Friday me ne beba bi fam DJ nyame. I hope say etimi serve mo. Maka just a program we dey sua ade. Se na be ya so be prepare obehu left and right. What I say me ne Steve Ayebi Canada. Lawyer Ekepoku there on the woman they hot. Lawyer Ekepoku so machina ba US. Kra me pe Australia so dey aba. In other countries, Germany. Aisha, Aisha, we are starting here, no. I don't know about busy be party. Germany, Schengen for one so. Messana na baby na ya starting. Just educate mo. Ubia nye expert wa uji week akra na waji week akra na waji week. Tuni mo left and right. Sene be ya uko hibi bia. Who do you obviously I know? Me da say it's Bibiana unti ase a obetimi areche wise man solicitors office line and they know from na obuku appointment na no mo share na o me amount. Me da say Madam production team as DJ Click Sharon. Subscribe, follow me. Obeso ba me show no so bia. Me the Daily Hustle GH no, me the business link aba. Me ja video bi musisi a, ye je musisi a in the next 5 minutes. A Daily Hustle GH but business link. Uye business bi Ghana uton ade, uye we a link me up. Video call, far distance member, but close around me a. They meet me about na me no my marketing business. Then how any idea na man for and so reach you out. This one, fala link sharp. Charlie, big ups. Madam say, Ushamo Chroma, I say tour. No, my just tour. So tour.
Charlie, make we chop small. Delight Coco.
Delight Coco, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Coco.
She has a plan, a secret mission filled by gratitude and affection. She chooses her mother's favorite breakfast. Delight Foods, House Coco, a harmonious blend of flavors crafted with care and devotion. The taste of tradition and comfort. In that moment, their connection deepens, a bond strengthened by a shared experience. Delight Foods, House of Coco, a delicious breakfast made with care and love in just 2 minutes.